This is Dungeon Not Included, the actual play podcast for the adventurous listener.
Welcome to Dungeon Not Included, where we are playing Katanas and Trenchcoats right now, or getting ready to play it.
Like any good role-playing game, there's weeks upon weeks of setup.
That's right.
Although, to be fair, I think it's like an hour of setup. Can we just take our sweet time about it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was about that. So last time we finished up all of the numerical number crunching parts, and you all were gonna pick your superpowers, basically, that you have.
All right, so I had some questions.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So for those at home who don't know, there's certain things you get to start with, like you have your starting edges and so on. So I haven't picked those yet. I know which two I'm going to do. I'm going to put them on our sheet in a minute. But beyond my telltale and my starting edges, there are so many what appear to be moves with triangles with plus signs and triangles with minus signs next to them. Are those moves that I have inherently given to me, or are those edges I get later? So, like, if that makes sense, like I'm looking here at like Haunting, Manifestation, Memory's Wrath.
Those are all things that you have.
Yeah, I think those are inherent to the splat, as it's called in the book.
Awesome. So I can do all these cool things. That's awesome. I'm picturing it like a playbook where I'm, getting some of these as they go along. But that's great that I get all these cool little moves. Yeah, I love this.
Yeah, and the pluses that point up basically represent good things you can do. Minuses are like the drawbacks, and the zeros or the empty circle is just like it could go either way. If that's that, it's explained very briefly, but it kind of blends into the first Splat book. I think Immortal, like in the previous page explains how the splats work, but it kind of looks like it's
okay. I'll go back and
if you know what I'm talking about.
Look through that later.
And just last thing on the layout of this book, it's beautiful. It is like down to the font choice. It feels evocative of these 90s games, but like it's still readable, and it does a lot of it wipes out a lot of the like the conceit is on its sleeve, right? It'll say for example, as an immortal, I can make my sword come to me at will, but it calls out the fact that it's not telekinesis. I will struggle and have to reach for my sword because drama wants me to drop my sword a lot and try to go for it. And it makes sense. Like if you watch these movies, you watch Highlander, they're still like they're all calling for their weapons or whatever. It's all for the dramatic tension.
And in the 90s, the 90s Highlander TV show, I saw a woman draw a full-length sword from a bolero jacket. So,
Yes.
Exactly. Right. Perfect.
I also love how tongue-in-cheek a lot of the stuff is, like how the humor that's like written within every move. It's like some of the stuff has been cracking me up about there's one bit where they're like, if you're a ghost, you might have trouble carrying, like in a stressful situation, carrying a bomb, and then parentheses, it's like, you also might do that if you weren't a ghost,
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah, cool. All right, so let's start with you, Frank.
Yeah.
Can you give me sort of the lowdown on choices that you made about your character and give the listeners a little bit of a preview of some of your powers?
So I tweaked my character a little bit since last time we did a session. I gave myself more potency and less for example, I had a lot of flow before. because I was like, I go with the flow, but that's not really what flow is. So I modified a few things here and there. So I'm a little bit more of the beefcake in this. I can fight.
But you are a literal caveman.
Yeah, basically. And I feel so. Some of the questions that ask you is when you passed away, and I do believe I'm like one of the early humans, right?
Yes.
Literally flattened by the first wheel. No impressive scars. That was one of the questions that they had asked. But my core ambit, my ambition, my is basically a lot of my abilities are about pursuing a worthy foe. So it's Highlander, right? Pursuing a worthy foe, using your awesome blade, shooting lightning out against your enemies. But that's kind of not quite in keeping with this unassuming character I wanted to play. For those of you who are super deep cut Highlander fans, maybe Mythos from the series. Yeah,
that is honestly, a deep cut.
Yeah, if you understood that reference and were nodding, just subscribe. Just subscribe to the channel. You're good. So, but there is a feature in there that describes what to do in that scenario. So there's this cosmically cyclical curse that affects all immortals. At one point, I had died and I came back. This happens to all immortals. So you die, you come back, people treat you differently, and then you just kind of age through all the people you love and know, and it's really tragic. If you deny that, then you don't get any of the benefits from the cool sword and the lightning powers and stuff. And I think that's where I'm starting the game off. So my curse is I'm a guardian of deep antiquity. What that means is there's some magical knowledge or truth that I am supposed to be guarding, and I am denying that, so I'm not guarding it. And that means I'm going to start off the game like barely immortal. I'm not gonna, nothing will kill me, but I'm not gonna be chasing other immortals trying to chop off their heads. I'm not involved in supernatural politics. I'm assuming like session 1 will change all that, or may change all that, but that's the way I'm starting off. So I'm a guardian of deep antiquity, and here's the crazy part. I think, and I accidentally stumbled into this, I think what I'm guarding, and I don't even know that I'm supposed to be guarding this, is as the victim of the first wheel, I know who invented the wheel. I know the name of this person who invented the wheel. I haven't thought of like, I don't see the significance of it, although that's kind of a thing we all talk about, like who invented the wheel, like it's who discovered fire. Right. We don't have obviously historical records of that. And the reason why I think this is interesting is because I think, and I have not thought, like I will play to find out, I think the answer to that question may be where car wizards get their power from.
Oh, okay.
Ooh.
Or something like that. I'm not saying it's definitive. I'm saying it's tied into it somehow. That's why it has cosmic significance. I'm oblivious to it, or my character's oblivious to it. And Frank obviously doesn't know because we haven't played it. So that's my big, long spiel of where I come from. As far as powers, starting edges, it's going to be armor of loyalty. If I protect people who are worthy of my deep loyalty, I get some benefits from that. And I think what we ended up with is yes, we've met, which means I've been around for so long that I've met many unusual people, and once per episode I could pull in somebody and say, yeah, I know. And the way we're going to do it is sort of like you're at a party and somebody at the party says, oh, it's nice to meet you, and you have to tell them, actually, we've met before. Because he's really unremarkable. So all these vampires and wraiths and stuff don't remember him. I think that's basically so everything. I like that. Yeah, I think that's pretty much everything. I get mystical threat sense, and I apparently am soulless, but these are just features of all.
Well, the soulless thing is just that anything that would affect a so-called soul doesn't work on you.
Right.
And you don't come back as a ghost.
Yeah. Yeah, there are no immortal ghosts. Yeah. So, well, sure.
That kind of, since, ghosts are undead, you can't really be undead and immortal. right?
It tracks. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. The last thing is I might be shouting challenges to people left and right. demanding satisfaction.
It's really funny you say that, because I may also be demanding challenges. I have this one called How About a Friendly Rager, which means we're probably going to get into a lot of drag races.
Nice. I like it.
Different
that's a good segue to Rebel if you want to go into yours.
Yeah, go into yours.
Sure. So, what I took for my edges, I'm the car wizard, in case you weren't here for the last episode, which if you weren't, what are you doing? Go back and listen to it. It's worth the context.
Yes.
I took ablative garage, which basically means, so usually car wizards have a sweet ride, like one that's like really important to them and like doesn't get like it won't explode. Like it'll get banged up, but you can always fix it. With this one, I have basically an infinite number of sweet rides, so expect the things I work on to blow up pretty constantly.
Nice.
That's
for dramatic
awesome.
effect. Yeah, thank you. And then I also took that friend with a truck. Essentially, I get extra pneuma when dealing with people I consider my family. And car wizards have like one of the features of being a car wizard is the fact that, you like in random situations where we shouldn't know anybody, I know somebody, but it also means that we will get involved in whatever drama's going on with them whenever I call upon them to help us out.
Yeah, that makes sense. And what is your current sweet ride?
My current sweet ride are my hand-me-down pair of roller skates that I got from Big Bertha that I am rocking at the moment. They are pink and covered in graffiti-like signatures from members of my gang who I've decided to call the Menagerie, and all of them have like animal nicknames.
That's awesome.
Oh, that's awesome. So here's the question. Since we're going 90s, are we talking like roller derby style 2x2 axle skates, or are we talking neon inlines?
No, not roller blades. Roller
Sure,
skates.
just
yeah.
Perfect.
I'm going full roller derby here.
Love it.
Nice.
Oh, which reminds me too, just throwing it out there as your character with everything on. Have you ever? These gentlemen might remember. I don't know if you have. Did you guys remember a Sega Genesis game called Skitchin?
Skitchin? No.
It was a racing game
where is.
Yeah, then you probably can guess what the game is. It's a racing game where you're on rollerblades, but you can hitch onto cars that are going by and grab the bumpers and have it pull you. But you have to duck down because if they look in the rearview mirror, they'll pop the trunk and then you get like sped out. It's like being hit with a shell in Mario. It was pretty great. But yes, I can see some sketching in your future with that.
Well, honestly, so this is the fun thing about car wizard powers is that I can go toe to toe with like a sports car on my roller skates because I'm powered by the darkest cosmos. Essentially.
I love that. Perfect.
I mean, it's gonna be a little bit there's literally a move about that where it's like, well, it's not normal, so it's going to be difficult, but you can do it. Like it's possible because I'm a car wizard.
Nice.
And this is just a screen grab of, for those of you listening, screen grab of the game Stitchin'. Genesis.
Look at those graphics.
It looks like a DeLorean that the person is skitching on.
Yeah, and they're about to come up on someone with those nunchucks. All right. So Skip Clifton is our Phantom. Now, I picked a couple of things that I thought would be fun to play with our character. So first off is your haunting manifestation. You have two options, and I went with an animal psychopomp. So I have a dog that's going to be wandering the real world that I'm connected to in a spiritual way, and it's connected to me, that I can do stuff like, if I'm in trouble, I can send my dog to find you guys and bring you to me, a la spiritual, like spirit-based Lassie, which would be,
nice.
I think, very fun.
I think that's
the thing
on
that's
theme
cool
for
about my
Skip.
Yeah, well, the thing that's cool about the ghost too is that, like, anytime I'm in direct light during the day, I'm almost impossible to see. So the dog is really a big part of how I'm able to, get around and see things in the real world, or even let you guys know I'm there. Because once it gets dark, you guys can see me no problem. Once I'm in front of, it's just like street lights, the moon, campfires, no problem seeing me, but I'm very hard to actually make out during the day, which is super neat.
That's neat.
So I have a
question.
question.
Can we ask some questions before we move past this?
Yes, questions. Go for it.
So this dog, is it in any way related to the dog that was, I assume, a part of? Because you mentioned there was a dog collar that was passed down through your family.
Yes. So I think what has likely happened is a situation where I, as a puppy, was able to get this dog to go to my family, who then adopted it in and took it in. Now it's the grandkids, like, down the line or whatever, years later. But it's still the family dog, and it's probably lived a lot longer than most family dogs are supposed to. Like, a situation where maybe it even gets to a point where, like, I have to make the dog run away every couple of years, and then a new dog shows up that looks just like our old dog, but it couldn't possibly be the same dog. You know what I mean?
This is a supernatural dog. This isn't like
this is not
a
regular dog.
I think if it's not, I'm making it supernatural. The dog stays totally as long as I stay, I think. So this dog is every decade or so we have to disappear for a while so that they don't notice that the dog has stopped aging at a certain point.
So I want to clarify that the dog has stopped aging, and once you finish your unfinished business, it will resume aging. It will not just like crumble into dust. or
in the final episode, we have like a, okay, boy, let's go home, and then we walk off together, or something like that.
That's fine.
Turn to ash.
The dog is not going to like Thanos snap, turn into dust, and float away.
I'm pretty jaded and horrible. I was hoping for a line of dogs. Like, it's not even the same dog anymore.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh my God, this little poodle. What or a chihuahua? Chihuahua mix now, and you're like, this isn't the dog I had.
Can you imagine how brutal?
Great Dane?
Yeah,
like a huge.
Can you imagine how brutal that would be for? Can you imagine how brutal that would be for Skip as like a forever child, having to every 10 years bury a dog? Like,
oh my God,
that's his only connection to the world. Like, that's my character's sad enough as it is. He's not getting. I'm giving him an immortal.
You made the right choice in not going.
That was a good choice. Yes,
but I just want to point out, my road was really sad, but Rebels was incredibly sad. Crumble into dust. So we're all bad people, and we chose not to do this. We just.
Like, I've seen too much media where like something that doesn't age has the thing that makes it stop aging, like, go away, and then it just like it instantly ages all the years that it's been.
Let's not do that.
Oh yeah, it's like
it's awful.
Let's not do that.
A portrait of Dorian Gray.
What's the dog's name? Did you figure that out yet?
No.
All right.
I'll come up with a good one. Give me a bit. I'll come up with a good ghost dog name.
Make sure you note it.
In the meantime, we have my Telltale.
Yeah,
I will. My Telltale. So, when even though I'm intangible, I leave traces of myself into the world shit may clue people into the weird shit that's going on, unquote. So I have to pick one of 4 telltales. I chose emotion. So it says particularly sensitive mortals feel your emotions as their own. If there is no particularly strong emotion you're feeling, then they just feel super emo in your presence. While this doesn't work on epryonic beings, which I assume is like us, like supernaturally things,
yes.
there is still the faintest hint of emotional connection. So if people are, they can feel me, they can know my presence because people are going to start acting weird with their emotions, which is kind of fun. And that this is under manipulating someone by playing on emotion is your ambit. I don't know what that means, but we'll work with that.
Yeah, your ambits are essentially things that give you a bonus mechanically in the game.
Okay, cool. So
when
if
you're
I
doing
allow,
something that's
essentially,
in
if I
your
put
ambit.
myself into, yeah, okay, so this is kind of like when you would give us like a Dragon's Deal kind of situation where if my people start noticing that I'm potentially there, then I'm going to get a bonus later on because of this ambit thing. Or am I totally reading that wrong?
No, if it's a little different. You get to spend Numa, but it's way to give yourself extra dice. But it's way cheaper when it's in your ambit than when it's out of your ambit.
Mm-hmm.
I see. Okay.
So
all
you'll
right,
be
and then my
better
last
at
two
doing
things,
things that
my
are in
starting.
your ambit.
That makes sense.
I think
all right, my
you're on a
last
little
two
lag,
things are I
sorry.
get 2. No, it's fine. Again, it's my fault. We have 2 starting edges. The first one is called Bad Touch, which just means that I can manifest myself physically inside of things without hurting myself. Material is not displaced. You just exist in the same space-time. One vicious use is to reach inside and squeeze somebody's heart. Like, I can really go in and hurt people in fun ways using this move. And the other one would... Right? The other one that I thought would be really good for my character is Pneumatic Investigator, which allows, because I was a child detective in my previous life, if I'm working to uncover mysteries and the unanswered, my ambit is permanently supercharged.
Cool. Yeah, when your ambit is supercharged, it's even cheaper to buy extra dice.
Wow. Neat.
Woo!
Oh, so I forgot to mention, I have a thing like that called kinesis, which is basically like what element of the speedster lifestyle most aligns with me, and I chose combustion. So I'm gonna read it because it's so fucking good. When the scene is on fire, you're at the top of your game. Combustion is about overcoming the activation energy required to make everything accelerate. When it's uncontrolled, it's an explosion. When it's controlled, it's still an explosion, but with purpose. This kinesis is about explosive action and is most active when you're leaping through balls of fire, your pistons are pounding, and your RPMs are in the red.
Nice.
Yeah, so
so good.
Like Adam, Roxy is sort of a bruiser. Z is part of the like it's a gang of body modders, but not everybody is like somebody who goes out on the streets at night and beats up people who are doing crimes, right?
Mm-hmm.
Some of them do like mechanical stuff, some of them just like help out in other ways, but Roxy is one of the people who goes out on the streets at night and beats people up.
Nice.
Love
Anything to add, Frank?
No, I'm good.
I have a question for you.
Sure.
Do you even have an awesome blade right now?
Oh, so we discussed this briefly on the Discord, which you should all join, those of you watching. I think not. I have a hard time imagining what that awesome blade would be. So to me, that means let's play to find out what it is and what the deal is Because like, did I have one at any point? Was it
You
going to be a
might not
flint
have.
weapon? Yeah, I may not have. It may have been my bare hands. We talked about that possibility. It's also possible that I'll get it once I start way late in
Actually
life doing stuff.
immortal stuff.
Yeah.
Well, and your awesome blade can change too, because in the movie Highlander, he doesn't start with the cool katana with the ivory handle.
That's true.
He inherits it. So
yeah. I was kind of hoping for a chainsaw. That's the point. This is a lot easier than you people make it sound.
Chainsaw would make an awesome blade. So.
Yeah, we'll see. All right. Do we need to cover like maybe some veils or what have you?
Yeah, let's do lines and veils a little bit. Yeah.
I was especially curious because in the last week we called Skip a youth detective, and this time we've mentioned he was a child a couple times. So I like to know exactly where that falls.
Oh yeah. No, okay. So I think this is a situation where they've been doing this for years, he and his family. And I would say that maybe he's a middle child within the group. I was thinking like 2 boys, 2 girls. And maybe when I say that he was a kid, I think that like he was probably brought in when he was young, like 8, 9 years old, is starting to do the little fun detective-y things with his siblings around town. And of course they're like, the case of the missing Barbie doll, like they're not anything like
Brown.
super crazy at the beginning, and then as he's gotten older, I'd say he's probably in his teens, after like 7 or 8 years of investigation under his belt, that the tragedy strikes, and that's when they're doing real Scooby-Doo stuff, right? They've gone from Hardy Boys into Scooby-Doo, I feel like, at that point.
That's pretty clear to me. Okay, I'm good with that.
All right, nice. So you're the ghost of a teen.
Yes.
I mean, but you're also like 90 years old, something like that,
Oh yeah. But unlike, say, like Interview with a Vampire or a Twilight, I have not matured at all. Okay. In terms of that, I'm not like this is not a situation where it's like I'm a curmudgeon stuck. This is not 5 from Umbrella Academy, right? This is not an old curmudgeon stuck in a small boy's body. This is a forever optimistic teenager.
Okay.
Yep.
Cool. So is everybody cool with that? That's what we're talking about right now.
I'm fine
with.
I
don't have a problem with that.
The teen. Yeah, that's okay. I mean, it's tragic, of course, but
absolutely.
He's not 8, which would be a little bit too young for me.
Yeah, I don't think I could role play with it.
Yeah, no.
8-year-old ghost. Yeah.
That's all right. 8-year-old ghost is too sad. Sorry.
With his dog, little kid with his dog.
Puppy? Yeah, no, I can't do it. I can't.
Yeah.
So
that's fair.
Is the dog actually the dog that you had in your group?
Ooh, I kind of love that. I think that whatever supernatural thing destroyed me in some way also took the dog, and we're together that way. Though I think that because dogs don't inherently like have a soul, that's how it becomes. Oh, okay. Sorry. Did I just?
Yeah.
Whoa. All right. Sorry.
Statement to take as a given.
Okay. Sorry. I forgot. This in the world of katanas and trenchcoats, all dogs go to heaven. I get it. Never mind. I take it back.
He's a dog psychopomp, which means that his function is to guide you to the afterlife, but he's just hung around you because you aren't going. So
yes. Absolutely. So I think that okay. So let me rephrase that. He has a soul for everyone who got freaked out by that. He has more soul than anybody. He's the most soul of all dogs.
Controversy in the Dungeons and Dragons podcast tonight.
Yeah, seriously. So yeah, I think it's the same dog. I think whatever happened to both of us, and the dog's trying to be a good boy and get me to move on, and I'm keeping him around until I finish my business.
Yeah.
Poor puppy. Aw.
Mhm.
But the puppy loves you.
Yes.
Absolutely.
That's why he won't leave. So, yeah.
I would love to find out that the team disbanded not because of Skip's death, but because of the dogs.
Too dark.
Too dark.
Yeah.
Yeah, our brother died, but that dog.
Dog is irreplaceable, man.
Yep.
Losing both at once was a blow. Okay.
That I will grant you.
So now that we've covered off-camera death of a teen and a dog, is there anything else that we want to put in here? For my general lines and veils, they're pretty much always the same. Like, we don't need, I think we're all on the same page, but people at home who might be joining in, this might be the first time. So I don't like sexual assault or anything like that. Not that that's ever come up in anything we've done. It doesn't seem like it's our vibe in any way, shape, or form.
No.
I don't like any of that.
Put it on the list. So.
Yep, violence against kids on camera. I have a problem with that. I have no problem with, especially since that's going to be what we're doing here with this. Like, if that came up where we discovered the body of someone, I wouldn't have a problem with that. If that were like, Brennan's thing is they're back and they're taking out teens again, or whatever the story is going to be, like, I don't have a problem with that happening. It's just the like, extreme young kids don't want to see that happen.
Right. Okay.
Yeah,
We're agreed on that. If I could go next, just briefly offer, as a time traveling character, I have never been involved in anything that would be icky to revisit. Right? I was not involved in the slave trade. I was not involved in anything overly misogynistic or misogynistic. Like, there's a light misogyny is fine.
Light misogyny is okay.
Just the whole point of this character, that he avoided everything of interest, but I think just to make it easy, I have avoided everything of, like, questionable. Just I don't think it's too goofy of a character for us to be using it to examine.
Well, I think that would make him more interesting, so therefore he didn't do it.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, having a dark past is also something that's interesting.
Right.
Wasn't me.
But I'd also like to say, I think that the menagerie is, if it was not obvious by the fact that my character uses neopronouns, is a place with a lot of, like, LGBT characters. So I'm just gonna put it out there, like, obviously we don't play with this stuff anyway, but like Alex said, it's always good to have it on the table. No homophobia, no transphobia, and transphobia including, like, true scum shit where you're like, oh, well, non-binary people aren't really a real gender and stuff like that. Like, none of that stuff.
Right.
Yeah, that's fine. I don't have a problem not including that content.
Yeah. For
100%.
more vanilla kind of fun things, I guess we should, make it so that zero sessions are, they've always been a good idea, right? They've always just like, talk about what you want to play. I think obviously tone of voice is fun, goofy, over the top, dramatic is cool for me. I don't need to have any real deep feelings about anything that actually happens in the game. I'm okay with it. You know what I mean? Like, I don't need it to be drama. Melodrama is cool. Although I'm not opposed to drama. I like the mood we're going with so far, which is really goofy, over the top. I think I called it, like, Venture Brothers sad last time.
Right. Yeah.
Venture Brothers can get dark, but
I think that's kind of the direction we're taking with this.
Yes,
as far as I've seen, is we're very much like, yes, my sister was kidnapped, but it was like by a rival gang to my gang of body modders who do street races for fun, right? Like,
Right.
There's going to be some emotion there, but it's not going to be like, oh, well, me and my sister are having a fight right now about this thing that's important to both of us, right? It's like we're having a fight because one of us is on the side of the evil conglomerate who is trying to, shut down the orphanage or whatever.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I get the tone. I think the tone, talking about tone, is good at this stage. And the tone that we're going for here is definitely got a goofy side, which I think is awesome. So
cool.
The dog is named Pickle. That's awesome.
Pickle.
No.
Yep.
Yeah.
I used a random name chooser, and Pickle came up, and I love it.
It's the perfect dog name.
I would die for Pickle.
Yep.
Just right now.
I've only had Pickle for 5 minutes, but if anything happened to him, I would kill everyone in this room and then myself.
Yeah. Yes. He's a big dill.
He's a big deal.
God, that was awful. So bad.
My favorite part was Frank going to be like, I agree, and then being like, hold on
Wait a minute.
I did think of something semi-serious. My character's immortal. What do we think about self-harm, or at least let's go extreme, suicide, right? This character, it's not death for me. Can I throw myself in harm's way and it be still good, but we just avoid acoustic making it seem as if it's suicidal? Because we tend to want to avoid that.
Okay, so here's my thought on that, Frank, is I have seen, like, when I think of immortal and self-harm, I think that if done right, it can be okay, a la, like, the montages in Groundhog's Day, right?
Yeah.
Like, where it's being used for comedic effect and we understand the purpose of it narratively. That said, I think you got to be very careful with it. Does that make sense? Like, I don't know, with the tone we're going for, like, if you were to talk about things happening in the past, I think doing it on camera might be too much. But if you wanted to allude to the things that had happened in the past, maybe, I don't know.
Would people be fine if it's always cartoonish, like just over the top, battle with a villain, get blown to pieces, that kind of stuff, where it's
I would personally be okay with it, but I don't want to speak for the group, and feel free, anyone, to interject and say no, that's not something we want to have in this, because I don't want to choose the vibe.
Right.
Yeah. I don't think that bothers me, and if I decide later that it bothers me, I'll be sure to speak up, and we can remedy that.
Sounds good.
So you are allowed to jump in front of the sword slashing towards the dog.
That's literally what I was thinking. How do I throw myself on the grenades to protect Pickle the dog?
I mean, I think all of us would throw ourselves on a grenade.
We might Three Stooges and call like a little tent over him where he and the grenade are. Yeah.
This is going to become Pickle and Trenchcoats, the show, with everyone else just kind of there.
Yeah.
Nice. Anything else anybody wants to add to this?
Sorry, I was just going to say Pickle is, of course, the star of the show.
Yes.
What's some things we want to see? God, everything we're talking about sounds like fun. I just trust the group more or less. Though in our last session, which is our sick day show, we had a lot of fun on just writing things down we didn't expect, and then it coming up later on. So maybe we should do it anyways.
I mean, like, as somebody who picked a car wizard, I definitely want there to be like a street race,
Sure.
Definitely sure.
Yes.
I would like to see dueling cabals. I would like to see that at some point.
Are we planning on doing this like one shot length or campaign length? Did we decide that? Because that might dictate some of the stuff we might want to see.
It's probably going to be a little longer than one shot length.
Perfect.
Yeah.
I would love to see some of the cooler things that the ghost can do. Is I can like one of the moves is like you can spend 4. What is it, Numa or whoever, to like use your abilities to like stop a train dead. Like I can have extreme ghost strength to do stuff. And I would love to be able to flex some, little kid and his dog stops a world-ending event with their mind. Like I think that would be fun.
I like that.
I'd like opportunities to use some of the weirder moves. That's all I care about.
I'd like a couple opportunities to meet old people who don't like other immortal beings or vampires or whatever, maybe even ghosts who kind of sort of remember me, but don't. Like I want to be able to at least express that, not just in character creation. These are all pretty basic stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. No, these are all things that you have that these are things that were implied in character creation, but then making them explicit isn't bad. So
yeah, I do think and I think some of this, obviously, for Dungeon Not Included, is we are modeling behavior, right? We could have started playing this game 20 minutes ago easily because we know each other, but it's good to show people how to play and not to be scared of 0 sessions and things like that.
Absolutely.
All right. And I also think, like, we were talking about stuff that were like, oh, well, it's a given with this group, but it's always good to just put it out there so it's fresh in your mind, right?
Absolutely.
Agreed. All right.
Awesome.
Good.
So, yeah. I think, so how do you find mysteries, Skip?
Ooh, that's a very good question. Do we have it that Pickle is the one that leads me into fighting it? Like, I think that now, granted, this is more of a Brennan thing than a me thing, but I'm going to throw this out there. I'm not supposed to know exactly what my unfinished business is per se. Like, we don't know all the details of it. I know we had talked a bit about some ideas of what it could be, but I kind of like the idea that the only thing Pickle and I know about it is that I have to solve a mystery. So I think that Pickle gets these like little bits, like a Lassie, where it kind of understands that something's going on and pulls me towards any mystery it can think of in hopes of finding the right mystery that will take me. It's Quantum Leap with a dog ghost situation.
Oh my god. Maybe the next mystery will be the mystery
that takes me home. Yes.
Yeah.
So I think that Pickle picks up on vibes of people who are in distress, and that's what leads me to ghostly appear near them and try and listen in and figure out what's going on.
Okay, nice.
I hope I didn't take too much of your. I know it's like that's part of your thing, Brent. I hope I didn't take anything away from you.
No,
I asked the Darkest Cosmos, right? The Darkest Cosmos has all these mysteries connected in some insane way, and only the dog can navigate.
That's right. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so yes, you, Skip, have been led to the home base of the menagerie. What does that look like, Roxy?
Oh, well, it's the dive bar I mentioned.
Okay.
Big Bertha's bar. But I can't think of a name for it right now.
It just says bar on the outside.
I was thinking it was just called Big Bertha's.
Yeah. I mean, that's what everybody calls it. There's just no sign on the outside besides like bar.
That makes sense. Yeah. But like it's the bar it's a shitty dive bar. It's like half underground.
Sure.
So
yeah,
like
you have to go down steps to get into it.
Yeah, and like the only indication that there's a business there is the neon sign that just says bar, right? But it is next to a parking garage, so it's very convenient for the gang, you know.
Okay.
It's a condemned parking garage that isn't used anymore, and we've sort of taken it over as our own. But that's not something you'd know unless you were part of the menagerie. So,
So the parking garage is not in use.
no. Well,
Okay.
it's in use by us, but no.
Not officially in use.
Not officially. Yeah.
Cool. All right. So what do you and the menagerie get up to in the bar most of the time? Just hanging out, playing pool, that sort of thing?
That sort of thing. I have a little workstation off to the side where people bring me stuff they want fixed or tuned up or whatever. And I'm currently back there. I've got one of my prosthetic legs off, and I'm working on it on my little work table.
Nice. So Skip and Pickle have been led to this bar. Pickle has led you to this bar. Skip.
Mm-hmm. So I look down at Pickle. I'm like, gee, boy, what do you think is in there?
He looks up at you and pants.
Yeah. All right, let's go in. I don't know if I'm old enough to go in there, Pickle, but let's go in anyway.
Oh, sad.
So I think that we have to wait for someone to come out for the door to open, so then Pickle can go in. I can go through, but I'm going to wait patiently for Pickle to have an opportunity to go in first, and then I'll go in following him.
All right. Yeah. So in a dim underground bar, you'd be visible. Is that correct?
Yes, I would be visible. Oh, so a between like a medium height teenager wearing just picture like a younger, darker haired Fred from Scooby-Doo. Like that's what we're seeing. Like 60s, 70s kind of outfit. Definitely seems out of place, but maybe not actually in this weird dive bar. Maybe there are other people who are also dressed eclectically walking around this place. I don't know what the menagerie is like to know whether I would fit in or not.
I mean, it takes all kinds, but it's you stand out.
So yeah, I guess here's a question about the menagerie. Now, is this a secret hangout, as in the only people who hang in this place? Like the bar is at front, or is this a place where like the average person might stumble in and go to Bertha for a drink, and it just happens to also have members of the menagerie like throwing darts and playing pool and stuff?
Definitely the latter.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's mostly the menagerie, and I don't think most people probably feel welcome for very long if they don't fit in with the menagerie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go in there and kind of look at Pickle and be like, "All right, boy, take me to a mystery."
Take me to a mystery. Oh my god, that's totally your cartoon catchphrase.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Take me to a mystery.
It's like your fucking Blue Skidoo or whatever.
Pickle runs right over to where Roxy is. So
So I walk up. Now here's a question. We're all considered like special supernaturally people, right? So Rebel in no way or Roxy in no way would be affected by my emotional state.
No.
Right. But
Nope.
if anybody in the room is sensitive right now, they're probably feeling very joyous, very happy.
Yeah. The other some of the other menagerie crew are starting to have a good time.
Yeah.
But that happens at the bar. People are hanging out and having fun, so it's not like you're not going to really notice that. Right?
They're doing like the Snoopy dances in the background
Yeah.
and all that stuff.
They're having a really innocent fun time.
Yeah.
The type of fun they're having in the bar is a little different than they're used to having.
That's true, actually. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're enjoying games more than alcohol. So
yeah.
Stacking empty shot glasses into elaborate shapes, but not actually drinking anything.
Yeah.
Yes.
So Roxy sees a dog and puts down Zertools and says, "What are you doing in the bar, bud?" and goes to pet the dog.
I think that
wags its tail.
Yeah, the dog's corporeal, so I think that you wag the dog wagging his tail and everything. Mm-hmm. They say, "Hi there, my name is Skip, and I'm here to help solve your problems."
Holy shit, kid! I did not see you there.
I get that a lot.
What do you mean solve my problems? You're like 12.
Well, don't underestimate me. Just because I'm young, I have plenty of things that I can bring to the table. Pickle here has chosen you as the person for me to help out, so I'm at your service.
That's a lot of information in a single second. Okay, sentence. Okay, hold on. The dog's name is Pickle.
Yes.
Pickle has, air quotes, chosen me.
Mm-hmm.
That's a little nutso, kid. Are you sure you're not lost? This isn't really a place for people under the drinking age to hang out.
No, I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be. I'm Skip Clifton, teen investigator.
Your name's Skip Clifton?
Yeah. If I had a business card, I'd give it to you.
You're not okay, this is a character, right?
You will notice
people aren't named Skip.
You will notice that he's a little see-through.
What the?
Just a little, just a touch.
I move my head back and forth to see if it's like an optical illusion or something. And how can I? What are you?
I'm a detective.
That's not what I meant, kid. I kind of got the whole, Scooby-Doo vibe from you already. I mean, the fact that I can look at you and I can see Hound back there tossing some darts at the board.
And I think I turn around and I say something like, "Oh yeah, they're really good." I start walking towards them and walk through whatever table is right there as I walk over to check out the darts, and then I look and see stand in front of them and they just throw the darts through me, being like, "Yeah, this is me."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just.
I think.
Oh, people and things can't touch me. But that's okay.
Are you like a ghost or something?
Or something. I'm not sure exactly what I am, other than a detective.
But your dog's alive.
Pickle? Oh yeah.
Is looking down at the dog, which they have touched.
Yeah, the dog is eating
Pickles,
a pretzel off the floor.
Yeah, Pickle's on its back waiting for tummy rubs.
Mm-hmm. I do give Pickle tummy rubs.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, what I want to understand, I'm a tea detective and my dog wants me to help you solve a mystery.
It's so basic. How do you know?
I don't know how to explain it any better than that.
I'm sorry, kid. I don't know what mystery your dog wants you to solve.
You do
but
know.
I don't know why I would be involved.
That's okay. Sometimes Pickle knows more than I do too. So it's maybe you just haven't figured it out yet. But trust me, if Pickle's here, something's up.
Does the dog knock over a picture of your sister or something that's in the bar?
Does it, Brennan?
Well, yeah, you're aware that your sister has been missing for a couple of days.
Yeah, look, I got a mystery on my hands, but I'm sorry, I don't feel comfortable involving a teen, undead or not, in family business. It can get pretty rough out there.
Sure, but and I stand in front as another dart goes through my head. Rough doesn't bother me. And age is relative. I'm technically well over 90. So
this is just kind of a lot to process. Look, I appreciate that you're well-meaning, but I also, a teen and his dog do not belong on the mean streets of darkest Vancouver.
Well, I've been here for a while, so I don't know what to tell you. I don't think I'm going anywhere either. So, and until I help you out, I don't think Pickle's going to leave you alone either. And I'm sure you look down and Pickle's asleep on your foot. The one that's attached to you, not the one that you've taken off. Yeah. Pickle's lying on your foot and adorably chewing a fake limb. It's got a
chewing
finger
on my foot. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's actually, I'm sorry we didn't get to you yet, Frank, but we'll get to you to start next time, and we'll leave it there for the evening.
I would love it if I just get introduced, because one of Roxy's gang just hit me on the street as I was bringing in groceries to this board. With a car hit me because I was jaywalking. And they're like, this asshole, we're in front of everybody, and we need to get medical attention. And I'm trying to walk it off.
Right.
Most boring incidental introduction.
That's the next time on preview, is you getting hit by a car.
This was a lot of fun. I hope everyone watching right now follows the channel and or subscribes, because it's just gonna get more bonkers from here. Now that we're done with all the setup, I cannot wait. Do we know what kind of dog Pickle is?
Yeah, let's find that out.
Let's do.
This is essential. I will not, because the fan art is coming in, and we need to know what Pickle is.
Mm-hmm.
1 second. I have a picture in my head. I just gotta look up what it's called.
Okay.
It is. An Australian cattle dog.
Oh,
nice.
Yeah.
All right. Good.
Yes.
Purebred? Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, the Cliftons were firmly middle class, so.
Oh yeah. We know that the main the main villain in all of those things was always like capitalism. So they definitely it could very well too have been that like the dog was some rich a-hole's dog, and after we helped put him away, we freed him from whatever.
Adopted the dog,
dog. Like we stopped a dog fighting ring in the basement of some billionaire and saved Chico or something.
And that rich asshole was a necromancer on the side. It all strings together perfectly. Oh, all right. Follow the channel for more of this nonsense as we play again. Will we be playing next week, or is that the week we're off? Or is it the week after that?
It's since we are live, we can tell people, we can state the date. It will be like the week of Christmas break, and then the week. I know. Well, definitely the 26th. I'm not going to play because that's my. I'm taking my sister out for her birthday. So theoretically, it could play next week.
We might be on the 19th, but we probably will not be on the 26th. But follow the channel is the easiest way to find out when we're going live, as is the style of the time.
or when we're wearing hats.
Exactly. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Hey there, we hope you enjoyed this episode of Dungeon Not Included. If you did, please tell a friend and leave us a 5-star review and encouraging comments on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, or wherever you get your podcasts. It really does help spread the word for new shows like ours. You can follow the latest from the Dungeon Not Included crew on Twitter at DNI Crew, and over at Facebook at Dungeon Not Included, or at our home on the Non-Productive Network at non-productive.com/DNI Crew, where you can find articles, character sheets, and Patreon exclusives, as well as our latest episodes. Thanks!
This has been a non-productive media presentation. Executive producer Frank Hablawi. This program and many others like it on the Non-Productive Network is distributed under a Creative Commons Attribution Non-Commercial No Derivatives license. Please share it, but ask before trying to change it or sell it. For more information, visit non-productive.com.